welcome to another episode of the Friday Night Movie Podcast. And Lily, it's just you and me. It's almost as if it's before 1984 because that's what life was like. You and me sharing a room.
Time travel.
You sleeping on the top bunk because I was afraid to sleep on the top bunk. And yeah. I think now
Speaking of being afraid.
Speaking of being afraid, well, we're going to talk about True Detective, but also I feel like we should give some updates here and there as we record episodes on the movie. And the thing we can't give like spoilers away or anything like that, but what we can do is we now have an IMDB page for the movie. You have to find it in upcoming projects. You can look one of us up or you can look up any of the actors. But
don't look me up because I have like accidentally 3 pages.
You do have accidentally 3 pages.
Just look up Shai or Lily.
I have to say, registering an IMDb is harder than the Social Security Administration. But we've sorted it out, and now things start to get added too. So there's, like you put a base amount of information in, but now things are appearing. And
it's a little bit like Wikipedia, though, isn't it?
It is. The editing on Wikipedia might be a little bit
easier,
better. And so I'm just going to mention a few folks. I'm not sure we mentioned them last time, but also they've been added since then, since now we have an IMDb page. Bill Demerit is in this movie, and he is awesome as Jeff. I'm just going to say everyone who's in it is awesome. Jill Kargman is in this movie. And
which I have to say,
I'm
sorry, I know. Go ahead.
I was going to say, meet your heroes, because
yes,
that's what it feels like when we met Jill Kargman.
Meeting your heroes, because I we got so blessed with this cast, so blessed with the way like the characters came out, the movie came out. Like we're so happy. Some amazing people that we got to meet. However, like fanned out, lost my mind is Jill Kargman. Like everything you hope for, the clothes, the jokes, the humor,
the warmth.
Oh,
she's just amazing. Everyone should go back and watch Odd Mom Out.
Yes.
Streaming, I believe, on Peacock. It is one of the funniest things
She's
about.
Brilliant and a wonderful person. And I feel very lucky.
And awesomely Jewish. Has just like a great Jewish comedic voice. Jill is amazing. Allegra Leguizamo, Bern Cohen plays our mashgiach. For those who. Sage Spielman plays the Barack thespian. Don't worry, I won't read all of these. I'm not going to read the ones we've already said. Avia Leong plays someone named Lily, but it's not you. It's somebody else.
Not me. Yes.
The great Stu Stein from the internet. So for those of you who went to camp with us, Stu Stein from the internet plays both Stu and Stu's twin brother. Shira Averbach plays Becca. And let's not forget the one everyone's coming to see, which is Fanny Corman, who plays bus driver number two. So that's a little more in the cast. Oh, we have so many other people that are added. We will continue to name people, but we're not going to do it in every single episode of our show. What we're going to talk about now is True Detective.
Yes.
Season 4. I have not seen any other seasons of this show. I am just starting with this season.
You haven't seen season 1?
Nope, haven't seen season 1.
What?
But I'm enjoying this.
What?
Season of this show.
Why season 1 was amazing.
I heard it was amazing, but I don't know what else I was watching back then. But there was now we're getting a drip of shows to watch. So I'm watching what's coming out.
Like jealous of you. As good as 4 could be, I don't think there's anything that
I'd like
1.
4. Allie and I are super into it. It's like a fun mystery. We both love a grim mystery in a small town.
Oh my God, you're gonna love 1 too. 2 is apparently like terrible. I stopped watching it.
I saved myself watching. I think part of it is that I was waiting for. Once I didn't see that first season, I was like, well, once there's 2 good seasons, I'll like get into it. And then I heard the second season, like people hated it.
Like it was like, it's famous. It's infamous. And then season 3 is supposedly really good. I haven't seen it because I was so turned off by season 2 that I was like, you know what? Let's see if they can actually make a few of these.
But once you say Jodie Foster is coming to do prestige television.
Yeah. You have, like I was going to say, what they were, I think they were like, we've got some loyal fans watch season 3. It was good. What can we do to get the masses back for season 4? And they were like, Jodie fucking Foster. And
right, because that says to you Silence of the Lambs, but also Candle Shoe.
Right. Oh, no one
which
knows
is
that
like
movie, but
weirdly
that's
creepy movie.
it's
Candlestick.
very creepy. I think like,
When she was a kid.
Yeah, you're having like the master. I think what it was to me when I saw that it was Jodie Foster, that's exciting, but it's also Jodie Foster doing suspense, horror, thriller. And, I just turned to Hossa and I was just like, it's Clarice. It's Clarice. So, and now I'm like, oh, I'm excited because I feel like I've gained another season because after this, I'll watch season 3. They're not related to each other, right, Shai?
That's why I started with season 4. I hope
Right.
they're
Yeah,
not related to each other.
they're
I
not.
think if you're going to
They're
do it,
not.
like
They're
commit
not.
to
They're
these things not being related. I
Yeah,
love it.
no, not.
Because it's
They're
like a new
really not.
movie by a mystery author. And I really love these
It's
anthology
like
series.
6 hours of a movie. Each episode's an hour.
I
It's
mean,
like
I
watching
will
a whole
say,
movie in the 80s.
I will say, this show does not move at a fast
Well, that's
clip.
why I've seen episode 3, and you're like, it's fine. You can give me a spoiler. I was like, Shai, nothing happens. It's very slow. It's a
So,
very slow burn.
okay, so just to like tee people up, there's a very mysterious set of disappearances and subsequent murders. We think they're murders. They may not be murders. That in this remote town in Alaska, our sheriff, played by Jodie Foster, is trying to get to the bottom of. She has a reluctant partner who they have some sort of beef dating back to another case that is chasing a cold case. It's got a lot of the good elements of a mystery. And Jodie Foster's character is just sleeping with anyone she wants. Like very sweaty Jodie Foster
Some sex scene.
scenes in this show.
But you're leaving out the most, like when they were sitting down and being like, how can we up the ante of the horror? Well, what are people afraid of? The dark. And
Oh, right. And
it's set in Alaska during the months of complete darkness.
And they do that so well. And Allie kept saying, why are these places open? Oh, wait, I don't even know what time it is. Because it just always looks like it's
when you see the
nighttime.
high school kids leaving high school, I was like, there's night school for high school, and then it's always night. And when you remember it, like it's very jarring and disjointed. It's like being in a casino, I guess.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's like plus the cold. Like you have got the night.
They don't look as cold as they should be, though, in the cold.
Well, they filmed on location.
They filmed on location? I keep thinking
they filmed on location.
During the dark season?
I guess, yeah, because I know they filmed in Alaska.
But like these people's faces aren't covered. It looks so cold.
It looks so cold. I keep thinking, what brand is that jacket? Those jackets look so warm.
The hats.
The hats. They're like basically wearing like only their cheeks are exposed. So the element of the cold is very scary too.
And I don't want to ruin it's worth seeing it just to see the way they discovered the bodies in this.
Well, I think that's like the big, I don't think that's a spoiler at this point. I think that's like the big thing. Do you know that Guillermo del Toro helped them design the bodies? Yeah.
That makes sense. But I was watching, I was like, Allie, I was like, I don't know where this is going, but I'm just impressed at what they have as their mystery here.
Right.
It's just, it's like, I'm impressed. It is fun to think about this horrific thing, but like try to get to the bottom of it.
And they're not burying the lead in the sense that from the very first episode, from the very beginning, they're letting you know there's something supernatural going on in this town.
See, I don't think there is.
Oh, you think it's like a red herring, misdirect?
Yeah, I think the supernatural is a red herring because I don't think the other seasons of this show were in any way supernatural. I think there are going to be supernatural things that you think about, but I think part of what they're showing you is that in this desolate, dark place where people are facing all sorts of hardship and there are...
But this group of scientists clearly uncovered something.
Maybe, but maybe not. Right? Like they're
also,
leading you to think that there's some sort of possible...
You see someone get possessed.
Yeah, but but remember Northern Exposure? I mean, Northern Exposure had supernatural elements, but also just part of this, I think, is it's like seeing people, it's such a remote, different place. I think part of that is just to show you the remoteness and the scariness of it. Like I believe that whatever we find out, it will be like a very practical even if it's improbable, but a practical scientific explanation, it's not going to bring us to like a world where, oh my God, they created zombies or like Yetis are coming out of nowhere and
No,
eating
or
people.
I think that they've awakened some sort of spiritual being
So
of the
my
people, of the native people, because yeah, I
yeah,
don't know,
well
maybe
that could be it, but I think that being is Mother Nature, and that ultimately the murderer or whatever the person, whatever the thing is that is causing these
I do
deaths is
like
going to be climate change related,
I
because
do like the
they've
yeah, go
shown
ahead.
us things like the polar bear walking through the town, and the like
The mine
and
and
there are
ruining
things
the
where people
water.
there are things where people think they're seeing things, but if you were in a place where it was dark all the time and you also had trauma in your life that you were thinking about, you might think you saw things. Now, on top of that, there may be spiritual things going on, but I don't believe
Well,
you're ever going to straight up be
it
like,
begins with someone full on talking to a ghost.
yeah, but you don't know what you're seeing, whether it's what they're seeing or what's actually factually happening.
Hmm.
But it's fun
Oh,
to
what's
think
that
about
actor's name? I love her so much.
the one from Harry Potter,
Well, 3 Men and a
the
Baby and Killing Eve.
Fiona Shaw, I think. Fiona
Fiona
Shaw?
Shaw. Fiona Shaw. I
Oh, yeah.
hope
I
she's
mean,
in it more.
I
No,
just
Fiona
quote
Shaw. That sounds right. That
I
sounds
just
right.
quoted like a whole bunch of Three Men and a Little Lady while I was watching,
Oh, sorry, 3 Men and a Lady.
while we
Yes,
were
you're right.
watching it. I
All
was
right.
like,
She's so great. I hope she's in it more because she was so far. She's only in the
she's in
first
the
episode.
first two episodes, so that's good.
Okay, the first episode. She's not in episode 3. Um, the unknown actors or the lesser known actors in the show are fantastic.
Yeah,
Like
everybody's.
the
I mean,
cast in this show. I mean, like
this is
you have to
It's like,
pull together a cast to go up against John Hawkes and Jodie Foster, who
oh yeah,
you had me at John Hawkes too. I'm obsessed. Love
right.
that guy.
But it makes like I'm watching this now in the fourth season. I'm like, how do they? I mean, I guess they're making a new movie from scratch each time they're making one of these, right? So you just don't know what's going to happen and come together. But to me, it just oozes quality. Like it oozes quality. I'm so impressed as I watch this. I hope the ending and the mystery is satisfying, but even if not, like I'm really
I'll
enjoying
say
it,
this:
and I'm
the
enjoying watching it with Allie.
I'm surprised Allie is. It's a bit
You know,
dark.
Allie likes The Sinner. Like we watched The Sinner
Oh,
together.
that's true.
So this to me is a mix between The Sinner and John Carpenter's The Thing.
Hmm. Okay.
Have you seen John Carpenter's The
Hmm.
Thing? I know Becky's seen it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Takes
Yeah.
place in
Okay.
the snow and weird stuff's happening.
Yeah, I think
So who
that
do
like
you think did it?
right now, I think that the scientists were mucking about in the earth, like unearthing like some crazy stuff because right under all that ice, there's supposedly like all these viruses that can kill us and all this stuff from ages ago, from another time on Earth that's been frozen and preserved. And then once you start digging around in there, that stuff's gonna come
Or
out.
it starts melting? Come
Or it's
back to
because
my
it's
climate change
melting.
argument.
Right, right. And I think it begins, and we've talked about this, like how do you know when you start something off, starting it off in a scene that now we're film theory people. I'm just thinking
I
about
mean,
like
you and I are not film theorists.
barely.
I refuse to ever
But
be a
like if you're
film
gonna be in a horror movie, start like tell your audience it's a horror movie. There's so many movies that have a cold open with a scary scene or some kind of murder or something that's letting you know, okay, there's something bad out there in this movie. Well, it opens with all those reindeer, caribou. I'm not
Oh
sure
my
exactly
God, drive riding off the
riding
cliff.
off the cliff. And it's letting you know, like the animals know that there's something.
Yeah,
I
there's
also did
something
just see
unnat.
Don't Leave the World Behind.
No, I haven't seen
So like my
it. Okay.
brain is
All right.
mixed
So
up
with
with that.
that in
But you
mind,
know, something's going on.
this is a short episode this week. Is there anything else you've been watching that you want to talk about?
Well, I watched like a bunch of scary stuff this week. I watched Talk to Me, but the hand, have you seen that? It's like or advertised. It's an
Evil Dead?
Australian. No, it's an Australian horror movie that's got great reviews.
Okay.
It's this like
I thought Talk
embalmed
to Me was a
hand.
Spanish movie.
It is also a Spanish movie, an Almodovar movie. But or no, let's talk to her. I think that's Talk to Her. Anyways, and so yeah, if you there's just kids are playing around with this embalmed hand, but if you do a series of things, you can be possessed by whatever's on the other side for 90 seconds. don't let go, then it stays with you.
Yee.
So yeah, that it was good. Cinematography in that movie is beautiful. It was really cool. And then I watched Leave the World Behind. Not Don't Leave the World Behind. Leave the Sam Esmail, the guy who made Mr. Robot,
Oh, cool.
made a feature with Julia Roberts and Marshala Ali. Am I saying his name right?
Well, I watched.
Yeah, that was cool.
I watched
That was a good movie.
I watched a movie I've always wanted to see. It's on my bucket list to see, and I've started many times, and every time I either got interrupted. The only place I ever really saw it available was a VHS at the Chasson's house growing up.
There's a way with you.
And it's this movie called Hudson Hawk that Bruce Willis was in. That's like famously considered one of his worst movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I always wanted to watch it, and it's on Hulu. And I watched it all the way through. And this is like, I understand why at the time, he just made Die Hard, right? Like, he wrote this movie. Not only that, this movie has multiple songs that he sings in it.
Oh, wow. He tried to do a Rocky situation.
As part of his character, but then also in the credits, he sings like the Hudson Hawk. And number one, it reminds me just how much I love smart Alec Bruce Willis.
Oh.
Like Bruce Willis before he was like tougher and balder and stronger.
Right.
And this movie is all over the place. It has Andy McDowell. It has Danny Aiello. It like everybody is acting over the top. It has like cartoon slapstick noises, like boing, boing, boing. It's just bananas. But I think if I had seen this as a kid, like I think now I actually enjoyed it. Like I didn't have baggage because I was so far away. But if I was a kid, I probably would have loved this movie. But it's like I understand why at the time that it came out, people were like, what the hell is this? But Bruce Willis was just fine. He's a great actor, a great action star. Okay.
Bruce Willis, my heart.
We're going to jump out of the episode. I love you, and we'll talk to you soon. We'll be doing True Detective on a regular basis going forward for people.
Yeah. I mean, people need,
People want to know. All right. Love you. Bye. Thank you for listening to Friday Night Movie, the sibling rivalry and pop culture podcast. Join the Friday Night Movie family by following @FryNightMovie on all of the socials and visiting our website, FryNightMovie.com. Our theme song is by What Does It Eat? And make sure to leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks for listening.